And while we're waiting for Giancarlo, maybe we'll have our plan rolled out.
Yep.
Yeah, so I reckon just to refresh Adrian around what links you've created. So all those, so the LinkedIn company, we'll make sure that we share that with Yoss just to let him know what we want to have. Has Yoss received that? He was
Yep.
copied into that email, probably, was he?
No, not yet. I'll
No.
copy him in.
Tomorrow morning, yeah.
Yeah, probably tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk to him tomorrow because I'll see him tomorrow as well. So
Yeah.
just to let him know everything.
Yeah, and so what we were saying, Marco, is that what Adrian will do is just ask that Yoss adds the social media icons and links to the website.
Yeah, good.
The 6 different ones, and then also put the pixel and any plugins behind. So that's often what we sort of say at the top. Would be great to add your Facebook page feed and as a plugin, and the pixel, which we've created as well. Maybe it's in the planning session, Adrian, but yeah, you'll be able to liaise with Yoss around that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a good one because we know clearly the web person, right? So Adrian sees him every week, so that's one of those ones that won't escape us because Adrian will be able to sort of say, "Hey," and the good thing is with all of them, we're not waiting on any verification, are we, Adrian? With Google My Business, I think that's
No,
already
that was
up.
yeah. Yoss already did that, so it's all done. No verification needed.
Have you gone scheduling this week on the Hootsuite? That was no problem.
Yeah, so it seems to be working. I
Monday.
saw a post yesterday went out. The one today's gone out already as well.
Yeah, awesome.
So it's all seemed to be going smoothly.
Yeah, and then
Didn't
I think
have any trouble accessing everything, so it's all good.
Yeah. So you're all good around that, Marco. You know that's you can always find access to these sites. Just so you know, you and Giancarlo can always go to this page on Basecamp, and
Yes.
This is where you'll find those. It's basically Adrian went to social media. What was the other one? The account, the account website and account details. It's at the moment it sits down second from the bottom. So if ever you can't find something or you're not sure of something, Adrian can always find it, or he can always point you in the right direction there around where they are. Yeah.
Yeah, no dramas. Good.
Yep. And then I think today, and because we are recording, we said we'd do this for Giancarlo too. So maybe what we do is just to sort of finish off that planning session that we talked about at the end. Now, I think it was actually you had to leave at the end, wasn't it, Marco? So maybe in as much as in a way, it's probably just touching base on what we finished up talking to Giancarlo about, and just going through this little part. Maybe just walking straight down the page, Adrian. You know, and then that'll probably remind us.
Yes. Okay. So
the first thing was around that homework sort of thing. Remember we talked about the LinkedIn and just a reminder about how we go and invite people into the LinkedIn company page.
Yeah, I think Marco was still there when
when we did that.
Yeah,
when we did that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so. Is that right, Marco?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Giancarlo will remember. So no, you're okay to do that in terms of just inviting people to the LinkedIn and then connecting with people on LinkedIn?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Obviously, we haven't done it in the past, so it's something we've got to take up now. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and look, always.
Did you? Yeah. Did you want me to remind you how to do that, or you remember?
I think I remember. Probably when I'm doing it, it's probably a good time, like when I'm actually doing it myself. In case I get stuck, I'll probably call you on it.
Yep. Okay.
But I think it's pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. We were just using search, and then when you're in the, so you were using search to find people that you thought you'd like to connect with, and you were doing that direct and personal connect, and then you were going into your LinkedIn company page just to invite people to follow that page. That's the LinkedIn and the direct and personal stuff. The other stuff is probably the easier stuff because the other stuff is just going business to business, right? So it's your page liking other pages, yeah. So
okay,
yeah, so there you go, Adrian. As you said, maybe we just use this as a little video reminder because we are recording. So here was about inviting connections, and And so you've gone admin tools, and then for instance, you could
tools, and then invite connections.
I'm surprised I wouldn't be following it, but yeah, you can invite me straight away. You can invite Anthony. You can invite Yoss. Right. So that's how we do that, right? So,
I see.
And we just hit invite. Simple as that. We don't need to do a post about that.
So this is linked in through the business. Is that right?
Linked
yes, this is through the business. Yep.
Yep.
And then the other thing that we did, just as a little reminder, maybe do Maribyrnong City Council for yourself, Adrian, in terms of councils or brands or businesses that you'd like to work with. We went and found Mari is Mari, Maribyrnong, yeah. Maribyrnong, B-Y. It's the hardest council in Australia to spell.
Yeah,
Mari,
M-R-Y.
R-I-B-Y.
Mary, that's it.
There it is, up the top.
There we go.
Yeah,
that's it.
And so, and then we went to, it's slightly different now, but I usually go to the 313 employees. If you click on that, then it sort of generally gives you the more active ones first, right? So, Adrian, for instance, Bruce is a good guy. You should connect with Bruce down there. So, and then we do that personal note, which just says, "Hi, Bruce. I'm part of Dify Social in the city of Maribyrnong," something along those lines.
You got a part as opposed to part.
Yeah. Dify Social in the city, or in the city of Maribyrnong. Given we both live in the city of Maribyrnong, that's why I'm saying that, Marco. So in the city of Maribyrnong, city of Mari. Sometimes they shorten it to Mari. Making you spell it again. There's a B missing.
Yeah, B missing. Marib. I-B. That's it.
Then maybe a capital C.
Okay. The city.
Yeah. I'm part of Dify Social in the city of Maribyrnong, and thought it would be good to connect and stay in touch, something along those lines, or thought it'd be good to connect. Kind regards. But the thing is, Adrian could have just as easily said, "Hi, Bruce, be good to connect. Kind regards, Adrian." As soon as you put people's name, there's a pretty good chance that they'll connect because you've at least done a personalised message. So it just depends how much detail you want to go in. But that's how you kind of find the people that you might want to connect with for different organisations that you might want to work with, B, you might already have worked with, or C, it could be suppliers or other people that are important to you in your network, people that might refer you, introduce you, that sort of stuff. Yeah. Yep. And the approach we usually do is it's a relationship first. We don't ask anything of them in the first instance. What Adrian could do with, say, Bruce just then, once Bruce connects, he might say, "Oh, thanks for connecting, Bruce. It'd be great to stay in touch with what's happening at the city of Maribyrnong, for instance." Or, I've just sent him an invite for the next breakfast, Adrian. So you might have seen that, right?
Yeah, I just saw that as well.
So that's Bruce's department. But anyway, that was that one. So that's how we do that. The next ones, so are the other ones. Do you want to show examples? Do the B2B type ones as well, Adrian? Your Facebook,
on
Instagram,
Facebook.
Twitter?
Yes, I did show them on Facebook as well.
The Facebook's probably the most tricky. The rest are pretty straightforward. But you're right. You did the 3 dots.
Yeah, I think I did show them.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's 2 different ways of doing it. First, I'll show you the newsfeed. You click on the newsfeed. And then it'll sort of bring up a lot of pages that they'll suggest that you can follow. So I don't know if you want to follow news.
It doesn't hurt to follow things that place you in Melbourne, for instance.
Yep.
Master Dry Cleaning wouldn't probably be a bad one, Adrian. They may need, they've got quite a few outlets.
So, gents, you're recording this, so we can use this in terms of a bit of training in future in case we forget how to do something.
Yeah, you could just watch it later, correct.
Yeah, cool. So you'll send a link to this video, is that right? Or
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we'll put it in there for you. So,
Hmm.
what's on
'Cause
Melbourne's not a bad one, Adrian. Timeout, Vic Roads for placing. Some of our clients, WorkSafe Victoria is usually a pretty good one. Business Victoria is not a bad one. Yeah. And so, as you said, you've done that before. That's how you do it through the news feed. So maybe then click on Go to News Feed, and it'll start to it'll start to um, work out the types of businesses that you're likely to follow, and it'll start keep suggesting. That's what Adrian's sort of done. If you were going to do that,
Hold on. Giancarlo is just calling me.
yep.
Hello? Yes. No, today we're on. Marco's on with us. Yeah, so we've just started. If you can jump on now.
Just
No. It will show up. The message came through yesterday. That was the
maybe just
email
share
from
my
yesterday
link.
saying this Tuesday.
You could also let Giancarlo know we are recording it anyway.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be the one. We are also recording this, so you can. We'll send you the link as well after. It's okay. Do you have the email up with the link? So it should say request permission. Yeah, the whereby link.
How's your day been, Marco?
Sorry, Steve, you're cutting out then.
How's your day been?
Yeah, not too bad. We got a couple of small contracts today, so we've got some good news.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, but it's okay. There's the office market hasn't really come back on board, so that's why we're struggling a little bit with work. But you know, perseverance, like anything.
Yeah. It's, as you said, at least even with things like this, working on the business and doing things, it's it's good that you've got time to do this, and then as you said, it hopefully to take advantage when things do keep slowly but surely picking up, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a slow process. So it's a lot of groundwork is required in getting, especially the larger sites on board.
It looks like Giancarlo's joined us. I wonder, we can see that he's there, so that's good. Can you hear us, Giancarlo?
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello?
Giancarlo was probably because you were on the phone together, yeah. So
Yeah, I could hear you guys in the background, so I think he can hear us. I'm
he
not
can
sure
hear
if
us,
his
okay.
mic maybe might not be working.
Right, okay. Well, he's probably watching the show. Down below, there's the chat, Giancarlo. You could just type in the chat, just say, I can hear you. Maybe the audio is not working. And the other thing, maybe, Adrian, you might want to just maybe just give Giancarlo a call still. That way he can speak to you if needs be. Do you want to do it that way?
I don't think Giancarlo's got a camera.
He doesn't have a camera, no, but I think he has audio though.
Yeah, I think there was audio, wasn't there?
But it may be that if he wants to then be able to speak to you, he could. Yeah,
Okay.
he can hear us. Yep.
No, we can't hear you. So you mustn't have a mic on your computer then. Okay, so maybe I'll just leave the phone on, and if you've got anything to sort of say, then we can all hear you, I guess. That's fine.
Yeah, put it on speaker maybe. I don't know if you get feedback. There we go. Yeah. It's just that feedback that happens, that's all. What we could do is if you turn your mic off on the whereby, Adrian. The only problem is then that we're not going to be able to hear you. You're going to be able to hear Giancarlo, but we're not going to be able to hear you. What about if you were to put your headphones into the phone rather than into the laptop for him? Or alternatively, don't have him on speaker and just have him up to your ear. Maybe that's the best bet.
We're getting feedback now?
No, fine now. That's all good. So that way he
good.
can at least speak to you and vice versa, yeah? Well, that's going to make for an interesting few minutes on the recording. But in any case, you'll be able to play catch up on what we've done so far. But Adrian was just showing how we've done LinkedIn connections. Just a reminder around that. We talked about getting stuff to Yoss, which is good. And then you were showing Facebook again, Adrian. One of the things I thought, if they haven't done already, is maybe inviting people to the page as well. You know how you can use their three dots for that. So maybe just to show how they could invite their network to the page. I think you may have showed it last time. If you go back to the page itself.
Yeah, so when you're in the page, you can click on those three dots.
Yeah.
Then invite friends. Then you can simply just sort of scroll down your list of everyone that you want to invite. So I can.
Yeah, and you can be pretty generous. I mean, it's probably not quite as much. Doesn't make quite as much sense for Adrian, but for you guys, anybody that wants you to do well in business, right? So it can be. It just helps, because it is about word of mouth at the end of the day. So there's Anthony. You could invite Anthony T. Those sort of people. Yeah. So basically, you can invite people in. It's not about. It's basically about letting people see. So these people will see a percentage of your post. That's all. So if you do that, that's all. You don't want to have to pay for following, if that makes sense. It's better to get following from people that you like or that know you and know of the business in the first place, and then when we're actually running the ads, or Adrian's running the ads, he'll show you how you invite people to like the page that have engaged with the posts as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, that's how that one's done, Adrian. So I just thought it's a good one just to remind people to invite their connections to like the page as well. And Adrian will, potentially can invite a couple of his business network in there as well, which makes sense. Cool. And then the other ones are pretty straightforward, aren't they? I don't know if you've got them open, Adrian, probably because you have to flick in and out. But with Instagram and Twitter, it's simply a matter of looking up the sorts of businesses and who, if it's a supplier, for instance, of cleaning materials, then what you might do is look who they're following, and then simply just go down the page. So you're in as them. So again, if you perhaps do a search, the easiest one often is the council, local council. Maybe I think that's what we did last time. Is we just showed councils usually, but it could easily be clients and that sort of stuff too. So What council were the guys in? They're in not Mooney. Is it Mooney Valley? I think it's Mooney Valley, isn't it? I think we
Uh,
already liked a few of them.
yeah, we have already. Yeah.
Yeah. So something like Mooney Valley Racing Club's kind of an interesting one, because they would clearly have some sponsor businesses following them, that sort of stuff. Um, but you can see that they've got a massive following, but then in terms of people that are following them, but they're not following that many. So that's the sort of business you could look at and go, okay, well, who's sponsoring and who's involved with Mooney Valley Racing Club that maybe have offices or things along those lines, right? So in fact, it looks like it's going to be a lot of racing related. So maybe they're not specific, but
Yeah, gotcha.
again, that's the straightforward thing. Something like Kiss FM, if it's relevant, things, those sorts of businesses that you could be following. The idea being is you're going to get their attention so that they'll hopefully follow you back. Yep.
Okay.
All right. And so it's exactly the same on Instagram as it is on Twitter. So it's just a matter of then going, you're in as your business, and you just go follow, follow, follow. Uh, Facebook was slightly different, as in you got to make sure that you're in as your page. You're not just doing it as Marco or Giancarlo. That's all. That's the difference.
Yeah, I think whatever we do, we'll do through the business.
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
Business page as opposed to personal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. All right.
Also, to know the difference between when you're in on Facebook, between the business and you personally, it'll be this little thing here. So you click down, and then you can switch between your personal account and your Facebook company page.
Yep, gotcha.
That's a good one, Adrian, and that's a good one to think. Just once a week, you might decide, okay, I'm going to go in as Marco or Giancarlo, and I'll just give various posts I like myself. I might even make a comment on them, right? Actually, in fact, I could just see there. We probably want to add. Oh no, it's already there. We've got a send message there at the moment button. Cool, and we can see that post come through. So we can like that. It just helps with the organic reach. It helps get more people seeing the post. So that's the idea. All right. Maybe go back to the planning write-up that you've done, Adrian. You probably let Giancarlo know that you did open by showing the setup write-up as well. So, but yeah, so what we were doing there, so clearly you guys know we talked about the fact that we do this because we want to protect the brand, differentiate you from your rivals, be top of mind with your target audience, and increase opportunities basically for business. That's the reality, right? So that was on the proposal. The way that we do that without having to spend Facebook dollars is by doing what Adrian just showed then in terms of just connecting with others. It takes some time, but at least that's the best way to get them to follow you back, essentially. That's what that's about, and getting their attention. Ads Manager we've got there. We just might need to update that Ads Manager so it's actually got the numbers behind it. Adrian, I can go in and I'll send it through you as a link if you like. If you go edit on that page, and I'll give you that. But you've set up your Ads Manager now, so here we go. Just put it in chat for you. What Adrian's giving you there that's the easy way to find your Ads Manager accounts, is just to have Ads Manager and then that'll list them. But that number there is your actual specific one as well. So,
okay, that's only for Facebook, is that right?
Correct. Yeah. Well, Facebook owns Instagram, so the Ads Manager is used when we're promoting something on Facebook and Instagram, right? So, so what we did towards the end of the session, I think by this stage you had left us, Marco, was create this saved audience, correct? Yeah. So
I think by this stage Marco was gone.
Yeah. So maybe just so you can see where that is. We thought this audience. How big was that? Maybe if you go to Facebook ads,
220.
220. There it is. Yeah. So 220 we felt like is gettable, right? So if you're spending $5 a day, and particularly if we were spending at $2.50 for awareness and $2.50 for traffic, then 220,000 is actually gettable. We've found that some posts we've been getting sort of 30 to 40,000 reach. And so that just sort of means that people over the months you're likely to get to your entire target audience. Does that make sense? Because you're covering quite a big geographic location, right? Dandenong across, a radius around the business itself, and then Melbourne as well. So we
So what's
thought
the
that, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Steve. What was the radius that we're looking at there?
So one is a radius around Ardmillan Road, so the actual premise itself, which is 20 mile.
So 20 miles around there. Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
correct. And then Dandenong Road is 15-mile radius, right? So that's sort of down that sort of southeast corridor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And we've gone for an age group sort of 28 and over.
Yep.
And the key matching criteria are those interests that are written there: commercial cleaning, carpet cleaning, floor cleaning, window cleaner, cleaning, sanitation, or cleaner.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so that's where we're targeting. It's quite large, but not as I said, it's not sort of in the millions, which means we can get to those people, which is a good size audience, basically.
Okay. And we could change those parameters if need be. Is that right? Or
correct? Yeah, this is just a test one to sort of see how it flies in the first instance, right? We want to sort of see how that goes. So you could always build that out. You could add Geelong, you could add other areas, if you know what I mean. You could actually make it, but we often sort of say, how in terms of how do you eat an elephant, sort of one bite at a time. So try and make it relatively compact, and then bring it out a little bit further if needs be.
Okay, done.
And then I guess the thing here, Adrian, you've tested today. The Hootsuite posts all went through on Monday.
Yep. So you saw on Facebook a couple of the posts have already gone through. Just to remind, if you guys can send some more photos through. I did download a few photos from the website.
Okay.
But it would be good if you guys can send a few more that we can use.
Yeah, our intention is to send some more photos and also maybe a couple of videos as well.
Yep, okay.
And it might be a video that you finish up promoting as well. So what we've been sort of thinking about, or often what we suggest early doors, is Adrian sort of mocks up something that could easily be an ad using one of your photos, for instance. And he'll often pin that to the top of the page, and then we'll sort of say, how about we have a read of this one, have a look at it, give Adrian any feedback around it. But often we'll make a suggestion that this might be a good one for you to consider promoting in the first instance, just to get a test to see that we get the numbers that we'd anticipate to get.
Okay.
Yeah. And clearly, if you move from a still photo to a video, well, often that's beneficial, right? And particularly around engagement. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think we've got a report week coming up. We'll be doing it in the first week. For you, it'll be in the first week of April, right? So it'll be the week after Easter. Will be your first report. I'm not sure whether we'll have an ad running at that time. Would you like us to start an ad before that time?
Look, I think we can try. What are your thoughts?
I would suggest it on the basis as we know where you're at the moment in terms of we kind of know that we're starting at ground zero. Yep. As soon as we flick the switch on an ad campaign using awareness and traffic, we know that you're going to get some traction. And we know that you've also done some ads before. So, again, we'll just be able to compare how they go, how we go with what we're doing, which is a slightly more targeted approach. Well, we believe we'll have to compare that. So, but that's the approach. So it would be good probably to have a week's worth of how this, at $5 a day, how this ad is performing. What do you think, Adrian?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's good to have maybe at least a week sort of posts sort of going through already before we start.
Yeah, because whilst we will do another, you're doing it on a small business. So in actual fact, that's another little edit because it is a small business, not extra small, isn't it? So, so basically, you will get a monthly report, and so basically, it just means you'll see what's happened in the first week of any ads, as well as what is happening organically. And that's a different write-up, just so you guys know. It comes as a very sort of, this is what's happening on LinkedIn, this is what's happening on Facebook, this is what's happening on the other channels. And Adrian just explains that they're doing what we expect them to do. That makes sense, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. So you'll get those reports. But I think if Adrian kicks one off maybe even consider doing something for this week, Adrian, and then rescheduling something if you already had. But I don't know where you're at the moment with the scheduled, or you might have already done it with that in mind that you could potentially have a promoted post. Did you?
No, I haven't done one yet
Oh,
to
okay.
be for a promoted post. I was looking at doing it for next week.
Okay. So maybe that's that's something to perhaps consider earlier, just so we get, say, a week worth of reporting, so that we kind of know that it's doing what we'd hope it would do. That'd be awesome. Sweet. So yeah, I think because we did rush off, just so you're aware, Adrian's done that sort of schedule that was determined. I believe we did speak with Giancarlo around that, Adrian. So Monday focusing on the commercial cleaning. Yep. Well, you can speak that through, Adrian. Yeah.
So the commercial. Yeah, so we looked it through the website. So we're saying to do on Monday do post about sort of commercial cleaning. So we'll just sort of go through down this list of things to post. There's a lot of content there.
Yep.
And then Tuesday it was stuff about the homepage and also the COVID cleaning. There's a lot of information here
Sanitizing.
about the COVID cleaning.
Yep.
A lot of content that we can use.
Yep.
Yep. So there's a lot of stuff here that we can sort of use to sort of promote and to share across.
Yeah, you got
and
heaps.
What was the other schedule? We're looking at sort of doing the blog posts on Thursday. There's quite a few blogs in there that I did see. And then also on sort of Friday, we'll be talking a little bit about you guys, and then also testimonials. So we'll be switching up between posts about the sort of business and then about testimonials to share them across.
Okay.
That photo there,
Adrian,
because we often know that photos that have you appearing in it are often do better. So I wonder whether we do as our first promoted post, because it looks like you're in an office that you would want to clean in. You might want to use that image as your first promoted post potentially.
It's actually Brunetti's in the city.
Is it? Do you look after that one?
We used to.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, then that's got some story behind it, right? So, but I think a bit of an overview why why us sort of type post might be a good one to start with. Or I see that headline at the moment, right? That's got looking for COVID-19 cleaning for your commercial property. That could be the headline. They said, established in 1990. You might then use a bit of your credentials and then go to find out more. Click here or telephone, email, or email the team. Something along those lines. And Adrian I know what Adrian will just use the key parts of this sort of page, for instance. So what do you think, Adrian?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll have to go in and sort of do a post for that.
Because we just know from other clients that the ones, particularly early, it's good to use one that shows that you guys are a couple of professional looking guys. You're not just your run of the mill. You're basically, I think that presents you in such a way that it highlights who's behind this. But also we can do the details of what you're trying to attract into there as well, and use that saved audience that we've got as an ad post, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, as I said, Adrian will mock it up. He'll let us know. He'll pin it to the top of the page, Adrian, yeah?
Yeah, I'll pin it to the top, so it'll be the first one you'll see.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you to go and have a look and let me know if you're happy with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's always good for us all to give it a bit of love as well. So I'll give it a like, and Diffy Social will like it, Adrian will like it, you'll like it. And that then, Facebook then goes, oh, this is pretty popular. So that then often we'll wait and then we'll promote it first thing on Monday, for instance. So basically we give it a bit of time to get its organic reach, and then we go and post it, because we know that by that stage, it probably would have had its lifespan with regards to the news feed. And so we give it every chance to have engagement on it in the first instance, and including, partners, friends and family who, again, we just know that if you're in it, they're probably going to like it just because they can see you. You know what I mean? So that's what is not a bad idea, to use you in the first place. Yeah. And because you are branded for the business too, I think that's
What was
why it
that?
works.
Yes, if you can get some photos of the van, that'll be good.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, so we'll make that little note. Yep. So the van was the other thing that is a good thing. Yep.
Yeah.
And again with those sort of pictures, think about where you might put them on the website as well, even if you do it as a blog, a short blog post.
Yeah.
Was that it, Adrian? Is Giancarlo okay there? Yep.
Yeah, he's all good here.
Yep. Yeah, I forgot that's what we did talk about the van, and I agree. The van looks great, particularly with you guys around. And it's another sort of, what they call that physical asset to proof you as a serious business. You got the
Yeah.
Mercedes van. You guys look smick. It just makes you look like a really good professional service. Pardon the pun. And so, and then this stuff here, just so you know, that's what Yoss will make sure that that's behind the website too, right? So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. So we did forward him the email from Facebook when we created it in the ads manager. But I'll talk to him tomorrow because I'll see him tomorrow morning as well to let him know if we can do that, and also the Facebook and social links in the website. And then on the social media website and account setup details and that discussion, we have we've got all your links for all your social media set out in here, so it's easy to find. Also with the password and everything. So if you do have trouble logging in or anything like that, then you can also find everything on here, or you can let me know and I can forward that to you guys.
Okay.
It's often easiest to put the apps on your phone. So if you go into this Basecamp thread and actually put the apps on your phone, particularly the main four ones, have LinkedIn, Facebook page, which is now called Business Suite. So Facebook Business Suite, Instagram, and Twitter. If you're going to pick any four, they're the four to put on your phone and in your app, because a lot of stuff becomes a lot easier to do on there than it is often and particularly for you guys, you're out and about, all that sort of stuff. And I think, did we say, Adrian, as well?
We
You know,
did.
Yeah,
We did. I did show them how to do it with Instagram on the app,
yeah,
and how to sort of switch
Yep.
between the two accounts.
yeah,
But also, yeah, if you can do it through Twitter and the Facebook Business Suite, then that will really help.
yeah.
It'll be easy for you, so you don't have to sort of log in every time. You can sort of just go through and click through on there.
Having said that, what I was thinking, like if you take a really good photo that you want shared, it might make for a really good Wednesday post. For instance, you could just whatever's easiest for you guys, just send the photo to Adrian if it's something that's real time type photos, and then it might be that Adrian loads it up to the social medias, and then later on you might create a bit of a gallery page if you haven't already, where you actually add some of these things as part of your gallery type photos as well, of jobs that you've done. I think
Yeah.
you've
Well,
got that right under our work, right? I'm pretty sure I saw that.
yes.
Yeah,
On the website, we do
yeah,
have a gallery,
yeah, exactly.
and
And so,
Yoss keeps adding to that.
exactly.
Going back to what you said, I think it's easiest for us if we take some photos or videos. Obviously, we'll send it through to Adrian or yourself
Yeah, Adrian. Yep.
to
Yeah.
post.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the best bet. Yep, perfect. And you can either send them through or put them up to the Dropbox, whatever works and whatever's easier.
Yep.
But yeah, and continue to. So basically, it sounds like you could probably, if you send them, it might even be that you send them by email or even with a Dropbox. You have Yoss. If Yoss is also uploading these to the website, is that's what's happening at the moment? He's just uploading some of these as well. Yeah.
At the moment, we're just emailing Yoss, but
Yeah.
if we have a Dropbox set up, yeah, we can do that as well, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, look, whatever works the easiest. If it's easier to email, and we're only talking a couple of photos and images or videos at a time, then you may as well just add them both. Just send it both to Yoss and to Adrian, right?
Yep.
For our social and online.
Makes sense.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Yep. Okay.
Well, that'd be great. Well, I think that's probably covered off. That the end of the thing was really about that. If you have got images, I would say the best thing is if you send them to Adrian rather than uploading them at the time, just because Adrian can then send them to all the channels.
Yep. Done.
And he can put a little bit of copywriting on it. They could just say, you just let him know, right? So you might just tell him, look, this is a job that we did today at such and such, so that he then knows what it relates to.
Yeah, we'll give also a brief description of whatever we email through. Yep.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right. I reckon I've covered off. Apparently I need to be at Littlefoot Bar, not to go drinking, but apparently we're interviewing for a membership officer for the Footscray Traders Association. So
enjoy.
so I think that was pretty succinct. So sometimes it's good. Adrian sort of done that right up, so that's all good. And it's kicked off. I think it's you're off and running. I think.
Good. All right. So the ads campaign you're looking at starting next week, is that right? Or
I think that's a good strategy. If Adrian does the post this week, say on Friday, and then we look at promoting it at up to $5 a day, we will split it $2.50 plus $2.50 from Monday.
Okay. Good.
And me and Adrian, Adrian can talk to me about that. We catch up every Monday, every week.
Who was asking? Is $5 enough? Yeah, I think it's a good starting point. We can sort of assess it. We'll give it at least a couple of weeks to sort of determine how it's going. But if you do want to spend more, then we can obviously spend more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start at the $5 a day.
Yeah, we suggest at that level just because we kind of know what to expect around that level, no matter what the sort of service often. But yeah, that's a good question. The reality is, if it's doing really well, then you can always up, particularly the traffic spend, for instance.
Okay. Yep. I think we're happy with that. Is there any sort of other questions you want us to go through before?
I think we're okay. I mean, there will be questions, but we'll probably, as we go along, we'll ask those questions, I suppose.
Yep. Okay. That's all good then.
All right.
Yep.
See you, G.
Okay. We'll touch base next week, and I'll let you know once that post goes up and it's pinned to the top of the page. So if you guys can go and sort of give it a like or a comment or something, that'll be good.
Okay. All right, gents. That's it.
Way to go. Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Giancarlo.
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
Okay, thanks Adrian. Guys.
And I'll send this recording, and we'll make sure we add this recording so you can see that by the morning, basically.
And that will be in the Basecamp.
I'll put it in Basecamp under the planning and overview, in that part. But you'll get it as an email as well, so you get to see it that way too.
Done.